You want to be aware of this in September 2025, this important payment assistance update. If your small business received a COVID EIDL from the SBA during the pandemic, today's video is for you. Hi, I'm Trevor. I'm the EIDL expert. Along with my partner, Linda Ray, we have been assisting small businesses with the COVID economic injury disaster loan since March of 2020. I'm here today to give you an important update on the short-term 6-month payment assistance program currently in place at the SBA. Well, it's September and we are back in action after a much-needed holiday during the month of August. And I will tell you, we missed you. I missed you folks, you loyal subscribers, you folks who comment, you folks who give us the thumbs up, who subscribe to our channel. And for those of you folks who don't know us and I don't know you, now's your chance to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can get the same warm and hearty greeting from me next year after our vacation. We're going to be very industrious on today's video. I have a big shout out to say thank you to the folks who booked 1-hour calls that I spoke to last week. And I'd love to hear from you folks watching the video right now. Tell us in the comments down below, what is it that your business does? And what state are you located in? Location is important because you know the 3 rules of real estate. Rule number 1 is location. Rule number 2 is location. Rule number 3 is location. Okay, this is not about real estate, but we'd love to know where you are. Big shout out and thank you to those folks who invested a few of their hard-earned shekels to hire us for 1-hour consulting calls last week. Anna, Samantha, Gajim, Brad, Andy, Angela, Lena, you know we love you, Lena, and Robinson and Wesby. I'm hearing a range of issues, problems, challenges that you small business owners are facing and offering as much of my expertise as I can provide in a 1-hour consultation call. If you'd like to book a call, visit www.eidlconsulting.com or in the description below this video, you will see a link that says book a call. For you folks who are still struggling with either current recovery issues from the pandemic or with the current economic conditions, and you're having issues about making payments on the COVID economic injury disaster loan. As you may know from our previous videos, back on March 19th, the SBA canceled the existing hardship accommodation program, and then at the end of May, replaced that with a payment assistance program. I'm going to review some important updates we learned thanks to some folks here in our YouTube comments and folks who called us and emailed us during our holiday break to give us important updates about the payment assistance program. Before I do that, an important element about the program you need to be aware of is that you can only request this, according to the SBA's current guidance, only once in a 5-year period. So I would encourage you to take extreme care in the decision making about taking advantage of this payment assistance before you jump on board, because it's only 6 months, it's only a 50% reduction, and it's only once in 5 years. I would encourage you instead to look at ways, if possible, to find more revenue for your business. And we're here to help you with that in 2 different ways. Number 1, on our Simple Sense for Small Business channel, which is our other YouTube channel, you'll find hundreds of videos that are inspirational, motivational, educational about finding customers, marketing, selling, business culture, and on and on and on. But more to the point, here's the second thing we offer over on that channel. Linda recently did an interview with this gal, Karen Graves, a good friend of ours and a business consultant who has assisted in her own right many dozens and dozens of small businesses to generate more revenue, find more opportunities. Watch the interview. You will learn a lot, and that you should do before you make your decision to register for the payment assistance program. The update on payment assistance as it stands now in September 2025. If your loan is less than $200,000, you can request the payment assistance on your My SBA portal profile. I assisted one of the clients on our 1-hour call last week to get himself registered, and it took minutes, although I will warn you the questions are tricky. I'm going to come back to that, but it took just a few minutes and it was approved instantly on the My SBA portal. Again, thanks to many of you folks who reached out to us here on YouTube and called us and sent us emails. We have now learned that SBA apparently is offering that same assistance for loans over $200,000 through an email process. If you recall in our previous videos, we discussed how the guidelines required you to submit an email requesting the payment assistance, and then SBA would ask you to provide a written letter about your problem being temporary and what's your plan to overcome that temporary plan. It appears they may not be asking for the letter, but they are asking in the email the same questions that they're asking on the My SBA portal. And this is where I want you to be careful, because, and I'm going to do another video about how I feel like SBA might be forcing you into a bit of a legal quagmire. I don't want to use the word entrapment, but because we don't know how things are going to shape out with this SBA administration. But be very careful with these tricky questions. We created a guidebook to assist you in answering these questions. And the way I look at things as a veteran loan officer, 30 years in the mortgage business, analyzing clients' pre-qualification information to make sure that my bank could lend them money. I worked on 100% commission. I didn't want to waste my time with an application that would fail. And that same kind of critical thinking I have infused into our payment assistance guidebook. If you'd like to purchase that, there's a link down below in the description. If you see the description, you see the more button, just click on more, and all of the links for booking calls and buying our guidebooks will be available to you there. Or you can visit EIDLconsulting.com. Again, previously you had to submit this written statement about your temporary challenge. Now we're seeing that as one of the questions. It's buried down the list in the series of questions where it says, you are attesting to the fact that this situation is temporary. The problem I have with these questions, both on the MySBA portal and in the email situation, is it's requiring you to make an attestation to the federal government. And if any of that information is found to be inaccurate, it is possible that the federal government could accuse you of attempting to commit fraud. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of that hot frying pan coming at your head, because it can hurt. Again, I would encourage you to do two things. If you are in trouble, and if it's all else is off and you're just staving off, then go find an attorney and file bankruptcy and shut it down. We've done videos about that. We have a guidebook about finding an attorney and a guidebook about bankruptcy. If, on the other hand, this is what you really feel is a temporary challenge, you really need to find more revenue. I did this in my mortgage business. I worked on 100% commission for 30 years. And when times were tough, I went out to find more business instead of sitting back and going, oh, woe is me. Again, we have videos on our Simple Sense channel, but at the very least, I would encourage you, because you only get one shot in 5 years with this program, before you register for it, see if there are other ways that you can generate revenue for your business. As promised, in the next series of videos I'll be providing for you folks here on our EIDL Experts channel, I'm going to talk about some of the basics that you need to be reminded of, you need to be aware of about the COVID EIDL program. So make sure you stay tuned to those videos, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you are getting notifications by clicking on the bell when we publish videos. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'm Trevor, the EIDL Expert. I'll see you the next time around.